Not too happy about that one, so maybe things are going to change a little bit with how BTR decide to go for their own split 2. Things are going to get relatively interesting because we saw some teams just go in YOLO mode very clearly. We've seen some teams go super aggressive that we would not see before. I'm thinking of Fnatic Zombies, that especially after yesterday, has been really starting to give it their all. And I think that's especially what they need if you want to have a long and impact and to catch up a little bit towards the end of the gig. But here we go. Plane path is going to be high in the sky, and it's going to be from the more southern eastern edge towards the northwest. So, not that bad. It's not the best, of course. If you have teams that like dropping Yasnaya or Severny, which there are quite a few, you will have to or go for a secondary drop or pick up a car and try and drive as far as possible.
Yeah, DRS going to Yasnaya will probably have to drop around the kind of shelter area, grab a couple of vehicles and head on up. Blacklist side to go to Severny. It's not going to be too hard for them. If they wanted to, but see, here's the thing. Yeah, if they wanted to now, but I don't think they know this, they could technically go towards the Zarki area and then grab a couple of vehicles and go to Severny. But the fear is that DS have gone to Zarki a couple of times, so they might be reluctant to not, to go so close to Zarki in case they get picked off by a team. So there is a level of unknownness about how they do fly out. Trying to get as much awareness when you exit that plane is important. And phase 1, it's a little bit normal. It's down on the southwest. Decent bit of water in place, so it does remove a good chunk of that landmass available for a lot of these teams.
I would think some teams would just take Sandovka Island out of the play because with a circle and normally how it would work out, it would not go towards Sandovka unless you have hard shift after hard shift after hard shift, which is possible. I mean, we had 2 city finishes back to back, so
exactly, man.
I mean, I'm not even going to go into the odds, man, because that should have not been possible last game, but it still happened. We're having a few little shots coming out, I believe, with Reject. Got to be careful if that really comes to fruition. But on the right now screen, we're going to be seeing our top players currently. And Concept was in second place for the longest time with Martin. They were completely uncontested.
Yeah.
Now Frankie's there. And I feel like I'll have to scream Frankie like I'm in One Piece in a sec if he takes first place, because he is slowly but surely climbing up there and he is about to take the spot away from Martin.
Yeah, it's possible, but it is Martin we're talking about. It's easier said than done. And see what he can pull off in this final game of the day. It was Reject getting a little bit of sweet revenge on Myth, by the way. They got a kill, I believe it was, they were both fighting for a vehicle, and the Reject Duello got there before him and ran him over with the vehicle, as far as I know. So that's, again, sweet revenge from the last Erangel game. With this kind of circle, I'm really looking on who's going to grab control of the hillside above Ferry Pier. I think it's going to be a very important part of this game. You don't need to do it like super early in the game, but towards the kind of, late stages of the blue zone of phase 1 closing in / phase 2, if you are able to grab a firm control and spread off that hillside, you're looking quite healthy into phase 2 because you get a lot of information to the field to the north, you get information to Ferry Pier down south, and you also get awareness on teams traveling from the east.
I just think that Geek Fam are going to do the exact same rotation. That one game where they got himself the win into the fields versus Valdus and Dig Zadi, actually, they had also those top 3 with those 3 teams. I think they're going to do the exact same rotation. They got Damrude already in a relatively sturdy position. Then the entire team over there, and if it worked out last time, do it again. I have no issue with that from Geek Fam, and they have been some of the few teams that impress me how they play their Gatka spread and how they regroup, because this is an issue we had so many times. I remember when we were talking about, I believe it was Team Secret just a few events ago, how they were dropping Gatka fields and they would stay spread. Same for sometimes I think it happened, for example, Nova Esports. Even some of the Chinese teams have that happen too.
Yeah, for sure.
Geek Fam, I don't see those issues. I don't see those weaknesses. They, boom, instant regroup, take a strong position, play around it properly. I'm loving it. Keep it going.
I was going to ask the question, I wonder what I8 are going to be doing, but it seems like they're going for a very early rotation towards the western bridge. I do it. And I don't know.
The answer, but okay.
But I kind of really like the timing of their rotation. I've complimented on their rotation timing away from Military Island in the past. I think this is still a lot trickier with how the phase 1 is, but I still have to respect that compared to a lot of other teams that drop in Military Island. I8 rotate extremely early.
Yeah, that's what we like to see coming out from them. Hopefully they'll not be the only one. I would like to see Blacklist International do something in similar fashion. Cross over the bridge over to the east of Pole. That would be great because you're not going to have to cross eventually, right? Or you do it early, or you just wait for the teams to start moving out, and then you pull off your own rotation. I think that's something just very by the book and that we can expect from Blacklist International for them to do. Other than that, really nothing out of the ordinary. We did have just 2 players actually did go out. We had one then for Myth. There was Broly actually losing his life. And another one, which is... Who's the other one? We're down to 62.
No, you're just missing the fact that the Xavier, unfortunately, only starting as a 3-man team in this final game of the day. That's what
I didn't see that.
Happened. It's okay, man. You just need to go to an eye specialist and get some glasses. But
weird you would say that. I'm going there in like a month, so that's.
Are you?
Yes, I am. No joke.
Cool. No, it's good because I know that you have kind of mentioned it to me in conversation that your eyesight is.
It's just my excuse for missing my shots. I just say, my eyes are messed up, but not really.
Fair enough. Now when we're gaming later on, I know what you're gonna be blaming when you miss your shots. It's okay. It's fine. I'll let you out of that.
I'm in danger. Who's going to be also in danger is going to be I8 as they just cross them on over. Got one player leading the pack.
I like it.
Johnny. Yeah, that works out just fine. And they know there's been very small amount of bridge camps in these entire games. So they're just going to be cruising on forward, good towards where Johnny currently stands. So, yeah, I mean, it's never happened in the past, or at least very rarely. So they're just used to having no teams really holding on to that Western Bridge.
I will not be happy if they stay here, though. I think this specific area and the spread they have between the garage and this building here, where 2 of them are, is really not healthy. I would much prefer them to rotate a little bit more east and onto the compound that Sinister and the rest of the A1 team actually kind of dropped and looted. I feel like that would be much more of a core team compound to hold on to. A spread can work, but again, this kind of circle, you can easily have a player or 2 picked off when you have 3 or 4 teams around you.
That's a good course of action. Another McLaren. Still, I'm never going to let that go. I'm never going to let that go. I can't believe I was so unlucky.
Are you never going to give it up?
No, I'm not going to rickroll. That's a no. We talked about this. We talked about this.
Are you never going to turn around?
We sent you to the therapist so this wouldn't happen again. Okay?
Never.
I have to send you back.
Excuse me?
I'm going to send you to solitary Imperium.
Greg Astley quotes are like your anime references, okay?
They're not a quote, they're a song.
It's technically a quote, though. It's a lyric.
I'm going to quote Beyonce. We're going to sing Beyonce? Yeah, I'm going to quote
that.
Like...
Yeah? All the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies. Anyway.
Okay.
I answered.
Come on, spam. Press 1 in the chat if you guys want to replace Imperium and join me. I'll take anyone right now.
No!
They can't replace the man. Too good to be changed. But anyways, central up. We got quite a few teams that are already taking control of some pretty central positions. You're going to have the likes of Geek Fam I'm looking at, A1, Reject, Xavier already going to be there. I'm surprised actually, Xavier, they sent it right in the middle, straight up, eyes on the prize. I love that from Xavier, but the circle is about to shift towards phase 2. There's lots of water in place, so we could have a very unfortunate circle depending on where it goes.
Like, I feel like that's too much of a commitment from Xavier and Geek Fam, because look at that gap between A1 and like Valdez on the edge of circle. There's nobody else there, and I think you always have to leave a little bit of variable for circle shift up north. Let's see where it goes. It's a little bit of a shift up north, but it's kind of northeast with still Military Island in play. Will Fnatic Zombie stay there? Will IH shift back down to the island? Either way, I still think IH should now go to where A1 dropped, but because it's phase 2, they've left it too late and they might get pinched apart by a few teams around them. I'm worried about it, but let's see what happens.
There's a realm of possibilities where Sovnovka is still possible.
It's possible.
I would not really lean into it too much. I don't think you should assume that will be the case unless you're already rotating late, which is the case for Fnatic Zombies. I mean, it's Fnatic Zombies. They always try to rotate as late as possible away from Sovnovka. But you said you weren't happy if they really dropped the Imperium. I think personally it's fine because you know Fnatic Zombies always rotate so late, and it is the bridge that makes the most sense to cross for Fnatic.
Yep.
So, hey, if you can have 4 kills that just come your way and you pick them up for free on a silver platter, I think that if that is at least the thought process they went for, I think that's great.
But look at Geek Fam, they just basically kind of pushed A1 out of that compound. Dante's the only one that's left in there. He chucks out a molly and nearly connects onto one of the Geek Fam players, but his position has been exposed. Now, it's not the worst thing in the world for Dante because the rest of the A1 team are actually on the hillside overlooking Geek Fam, so it could be a bit of a bait. However, the second they enter that building, there's really not much Dante can do other than maybe jump out, try and get to those containers down by the side, and let Sinister, Jax, and 6ix9ine do the rest of the work. Oh no.
Oh, that molly was a lob on of an L for Dante. That's exactly what I was going to say. That if you want to go to the side, that's great because exactly now the rest of your team can have a hands-down experience on this fight. Dante, go to the more southern wing of this building, and then your team can join up, or they can just breach it. That works too. They got themselves a knock. You got the man advantage. Full send it. That's what you love to see from A1. Taking a little bit slow. Geek Fam trying to extract himself away from that kind of overall ordeal, which is easier said than done. They're going to try and trade some utility back and forth to try and create even more breathing space for themselves, but
lovely play
thing is
A1.
Not easy to do. Dante, there he goes, got a little bit of a wraparound. Sinister on top of the roof on the balcony itself, so he's going to be having even more intel on where Geek Fam currently play from. Taking it to the warehouse. There you go, gets up, and that's one. Damarud actually, really good pressure from Damarud. That actually stopped the flush from coming out onto Sanes. He does take a bit more of a beating, down to 50%. He will get rezzed up, but now you got to think about it. A1, this is a 4v2. This is a fight you cannot afford to lose. Oh! Send it. That nade looks big onto Sanis. Boom goes the dynamite and boom goes the nade. That's going to be another knock coming on through right after the res. And now Geek Fam is a 2v4. Beautiful. Can you take that fight for yourself? He gets completely jumped on, and there's only one player remaining. That's going to be Damarud. And we'll see if the damn good players are going to come out from him once again. As he's just going to try and get up to his teammate, going to confirm the kill. Get every single kill you still can while you still have the chance to do so. And now he's just going to get pushed up. And with the M249, there's no fight that could be taken on the side of Geek Fam. And that's going to be an extra 4 kills over to A1 instantly.
Joy Bangla, fantastic team fight from A1 in that moment. It's just a celebration. Joy Bangla is enjoy to Bangladesh.
Oh, I thought
yeah, it's okay, man. I'll educate you slowly but surely. But just to kind of break down that team fight a little bit more, 6ix9ine was a bit too late joining in on the fight with the rest of the team. It was a great play by A1 to push them back into the warehouse, but at that point, you can't presume that just because you have a one-body advantage that you've automatically won. If 6ix9ine had joined up a little bit quicker, it would have been 2v4 in the favor of A1, and that would have more likely have secured a full squad being left up for A1 rather than losing a player.
We didn't talk too much about this circle. It did up for a few seconds. It did move away from Sonovka Island and is actually going to be towards the plateau / fields right down southwest of Pachinki Hill. Pachinki Hill, talking about that position, Valdus are currently there. They're going to be just eyeing out the entirety of the circle, eyeing out the fields. There's a big chance that this is going to be a field finish Imperium or a plateau finish where currently Reject and A1 currently stand. So there's a lot of things to keep into account. Every few buildings you can control right now could be extremely valuable, and the value of them can just rocket up given the opportunity to go there if the circle is in your favor.
To the moon, baby, as I8 are gatekeeping Fnatic zombies really well on the military bridge. BTR rotated to the compound that I recommended for BTR. But it's a 2-2 split for the time being. It's a pretty chunky 2-2 split, but I appreciate it. Yala are kind of being gate-kept a little bit by DS, but they have a decent area on. It's a hill that's just outside Pachinki as well, to the east of it. And Mist, as a 3-man team, that spread they have in the circle is really bold. It's probably not going to work out, but I do appreciate it.
Yeah, that's when Blake got himself a knock and instantly confirmed that counter Hamke fire. They knew, that's what I said, right? You're always going to have Fnatic zombies that rotate so slow. And if you know this is a team that rotates slow and that they're going to cross the bridge eventually, and you got the position to gatekeep, well, go for it. And there's literally nothing to lose for IA. Not only are they in circle, they got the prime opportunity to strike onto Fnatic zombies and take them down. That's 4 kills, potentially, that could go just instantly for free in the pockets of IA. So there's nothing to lose, everything to win.
If they focus too much on Fnatic zombies, are they giving up a better position in the late game? I think they're aware of that, and they've sent Ozum to join up with Johnny, because recognizing that with the next phase popping up, they might all need to move as a squad. Don't forget about Fnatic Zombies, but also don't get tunnel vision by them. So I like that split that I8 have on board. Zeus are close by on the west. Reject Scarlet were there, but Reject opted to go up north onto the hill that A1 were previously. So A1 should be aware that the compound they have is fantastic, but there is a number of areas to pick them off from a 360-degree angle.
Yeah, I agree with what you said, especially about I8. That don't forget about Fnatic Zombies. Maybe start thinking on moving forward. BTR got a very wide spread, so I'm actually really enjoying that. Zuxi a little bit closer to the center, so maybe can facilitate things out. Okay, a lot of water. Not fun. Go to the lighthouse. I8 just send everyone to where crypto is, and you might just have the game-winning position. I'm just saying, lighthouse is the game-winning spot.
Oh, my hands are just like an evil human. Like, you know, like those villains. My hands are just kind of like, wow, this is so glorious. And I8 have definitely been the biggest benefactors of that circle shift. BTR has Zuxi as an anchor point in that compound, and the whole squad are going to full send it there. So they're going to be in a good position themselves. Reject have gone down to the garage area that one of the I8 players were, but moved away. And Navi, they're just doing Navi things in the fields above, picking up Myth.
Yep, moving in, picking up kill one by one. Seems like they're going out of market on Monday morning. Been there, taking their groceries home. Go for A1 though, maybe trying to crash a compound eventually. Though we talked about Pachinki Hill. That's going to be it. Blacklist, they tried to move in. Valdez had position under control for the longest time, so it's not easy to move a team off of this position. So Blacklist, if I were them, I would try and run away, but there's a sneaky third party from down below from a few players off the Xavier. There's going to be Frankie and GE. And Frankie, yeah, we said it, if he keeps getting more kills, he might be above Martin at the end of today. But he needs to get himself, I think, 5 kills minimum. And talking about Martin, he's going to be actually able to pop a few shots onto him. So the war is ongoing to be the best player of this World Invitational.
He actually stole a kill that the Xavier actually got a knock off onto, by the way. So it's going to be even more kills needed. And another one picking up as Martin is going to take that one on board. Yala being punished by I8. They went for the breach, but will it work out in their favor? Powerful on the Johnny. It's going to get the knockdown. Crypto's on his knees. Ozum is going to be pushing in. Loka is holding it down in through the window. The pre-fire shots are going to be played out, and Ozum with the M249.
Oh man, he tears that door down. He got rid of it instantly with the M249. That's what you want. There's still going to be one more player. It's going to be powerful. If Yellow Esport, you need to clear this position out of the line.
Oh no!
He's going to take control. He jumps on down. Powerful. Can he get it done? Oh no, the upset. And they're still going to be near the perf. It was Blade. He was in the attic. He was chilling and comes down for dinner just in time. But man, I'm still surprised that they should have dropped there first. I said go for the lighthouse. They committed to the spread. I do not know why. That is a mistake on I8's side. But Zeus also going to have a fight coming their way versus Navi as they're starting to full send their way forward. They're looking to get more and more involved in this game. 5 kills so far. Maker gets knocked, but Red shouldn't be too hard for them to execute.
Martin is knocked down. He's going to look to get confirmed. Tixie doing wonderful things. A1 on towards the outside. They waited to move away from that compound at the perfect time. So really good decision making from A1 as a trio. As you do lose another player of the Xavier who was inside the circle. He goes down. 13 teams left. 36 players. With regards to the I8 split, I actually low-key agree with it, to be honest. And I also appreciate the response they did pull out when Yala full sent it up the lighthouse.
I think it was fine, but the later the circle goes, you do not do that spread.
I
get the building of Valdez or the lighthouse. Like now they're fine in one building. They cleared out Yala. They could have gone the complete other way.
I agree.
If Powerful was able to clutch a little bit more at the end. But you know what? Doesn't matter. It worked out. They're alive. That's good. They still might have a chance to take the win. Those circles about to shift. Where does it go? Does it go to the mainland? It does indeed. No more water involved. Still, Tira's going to be in the water down below, so it could remain a little bit undetected for the longest time. Everyone's going to have to move in, and Fnatic Zombies now, there's no more waiting. You need to push your way into the circle while Navi will get approached slowly but surely by NASA Esports. There's a lot of fights about to happen. We've still got 13 teams, but I believe we're going to get halved on teams very, very soon.
Oh, yes, and BTR are going to crash in onto Reject spot, by the way, as Nasser suffers a nade knock at the hands of Navi.
Both teams actually going to get in the water. DS Gaming also going to go for a little swim. Try and work those legs and arms. Great nade from Na'Vi, trying to clear it out. Nasa, after losing Miracle, they are not going to try and go for that breach. They're going to wrap around down southwest, but not through Na'Vi whatsoever. Actually, hey, they're still going for it. I thought that was going to be potentially going against him. Kitsune gets an insanely powerful nade onto Miracle. That's going to be thy kill confirmed. Nasa, what's the game plan? Do you push this or do you leave it? If I were them, I would just try and wrap around, avoid the fight with Na'Vi, because there's a 4-man. That is not a team you want to mess with.
You want to use that time to kind of move into the edge of the circle to try and get that tiny bit of a circle advantage. Now, of course, every step you take, every move you make, you're putting yourself in a more exposing position of being third party. So I know Nassar are aware of that. By the way, the crash came out from BTR into Reject and they won that. It was a 2-2 split from Reject, but Reject still have 2 players up in the warehouse just north of where BTR are located. So I really respect the aggression BTR pulled out as a full squad sender into that garage building.
Yeah. Tira was the luscious hair. Got to try and dry it out. You get out of the water there. Not going to be good. It's going to be all frizzled up. But hey, I'm just saying, you've got to take good care of it.
Fair enough.
Like me.
Didn't realize you were a hair expert.
I'm not actually. I'll have to ask Blank. He knows a little bit more than me. But yeah, Froki waiting. It could very easily just get out onto the beach and get the sneaky kill onto Tira. That'll be done after for Blacklist International. But BTR, they had a big spread, right? They were playing onto the northwestern compound, just a little bit further to the coastal line. And they actually pushed in so well, took one of the best positions in its entire circle. This is huge for BTR. We can maybe finally see them get himself a win for the first time in this event.
I said at the start of the day that I expected a BTR chicken dinner.
Maybe.
I haven't seen it so far. This is the last chance for my point to be proven right as Mexico gets blown up to smithereens by 6 of Valdez.
Tried again to position. I mean, they literally have no intel. They just literally came off the bridge. They do not know what they're getting into. They do not know where teams are positioned, so you're just going in completely blindfolded, and because of that, teams are easily going to be able to use and abuse the lack of against you. And great nade from Kitsune onto Nabo. Trying to get himself the double whammy, but that's going to be done. For Nabo as he gets confirmed away. Nasa down to 1 is going to be Moomen, and he's trying to avoid detection at all costs. But Na'Vi, you know, they're relentless when it comes to cleaning out an area. They're going to check every single nook and cranny, and even every bush. You're not going to pull a Ryzen. It is not as easy. Only Ryzen can do this.
Oh my god. Look at them sweeping as a trail in through, looking for the final player of Nasser. They're checking everything, but that's a beautiful nade. I don't think it'll quite connect, no, but his position has been locked down. The target is in sight. Navi, Tixie, why isn't he looking? You saw the nade.
Nade is the best play because you're not always sure from where it came. Unless you see the angle and the arc, then you could somewhat pinpoint the location, but I don't think they have an idea. Oh, wait, Matic's not looking there. He's looking towards Fnatic Zombies. The circle, we saw it did shift actually in favor of Valdez. The circle look, it's back in play apparently for them. That's huge. We did see them unfortunately lose their life in Pyramid. It could have been a game-winning opportunity for them, but losing so many players to Yala did hurt their chances a lot.
How are we not surprised that the circle has freaking shifted towards Valdez?
I mean, yes.
How are we not surprised? You know, it's Valdez doing Valdez things, playing the circle gods of this game, but Navi are here to ruin that. They're here to smite down the gods of this lobby for the time being. Fnatic Zombies have 2 players up if Salam can get the revive on Dades Abood.
Oh, Myth. Not much can really do. Oroki was able to get actually the heal off for a second, so he's up to 75. Molly, they don't really... Oh, I saw him. He saw him there for a split second. I propose, Imperium, we changed the name of Valdez Esport. They were Valdez the Murder. We changed it to Valdez the Circle. I think that is definitely an
on-brand. That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I like that one. Harry Potter Tower about to get cleared out, a boot on his knees. And Salam trying to avoid detection at all costs, but you know that is not going to work out. They get the intel. That's one great nade. And Na'Vi clear out the building as they're pushing in, and only 5 teams remain. And yeah, Imperium, double digits, 10 kills for Na'Vi. They are back on the road again.
Like, out of the 77 points they've scored today so far, 39 kills, 38 points. Well, that balance in itself was already good enough, and then into this final game of the day, they're rocking it up even more, looking to add to that even further. BTR having a fantastic game so far. That shift from the garage to the coastline and just swinging myths out of it, so good as we're into our final 5 teams.
No reject. I'm surprised by how consistent they've been when it comes to sneaking into the circle, so big heads up.
Oh,
Can make it. A nade from Lapis. That's a huge shebang. Jax also gets spotted away. That's the end for A1. They get picked off. Divine gets also sniped away from a distance. Lapis extremely low. Na'Vi are just taking so much control. Imperium this morning. Na'Vi woke up and they chose violence. They are not slowing down.
Say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and just choose violence for the day indeed. Navi are stepping it up big time, and now we are left with our final 3 teams. Honestly, I think this really signifies how good of a day all 3 of these teams have had, right? Navi, big time. Valdez just consistently consistent, and BTR rising up through the ashes of what had been very poor gameplay in the first 2 days.
We'll see if they can try and push it to the limit, because currently this is Bigatron without a single win out of 15 games currently. Well, this is the 15th game, so maybe they'll get it closed off and actually get himself a dub to close off day 3. That'll be huge. We've got 3 big contenders. This is like a Avenger level threat finish. You cannot beat this. You got Valdez Esports, Na'Vi, and Bigatron. This is one of the most stacked finishes we have seen in a long while in this World Invitational East. But you got this road in play, but because BTR has been relatively silent over to the east, they can normally pull off that cross pretty easy, especially because Valdez and Na'Vi are now having to fight up against each other, and this is a golden opportunity for BTR to actually make that cross happen. In the buggy, they cross in, and Na'Vi trying to take 2 fights at the same time, but they're actually going to be crashing onto Valdez's building.
2-2 split, beautifully done. Now they're going to send the rest of 2 players across. Pubg gets a knock on the Ryzen.
ETR having Luxy also join up. That's going to be 2 players in. Liquid trying to get rid of 6 if possible. Concept on the high ground position 2. You need to get the res. You need to be back as a 4-man. But they still have 1 player. That's going to be Zuxi trying to cross over. But there's no way. You cannot escape the wrath of Na'Vi. They are truly born to win in this game. And they are picking up kill after kill. 14 so far. And looking to get himself potentially another 30-pointer in this one. And see their feet right underneath that car.
Oh, Kitsune!
Shots, but Kitsune! You're too damn clean, and also Gui gave himself a huge nade. The molly is also there, just cooking all of BTR to a crisp. Gui, that molly just changed the end of this game drastically, and he goes for the push. 6 closes it off. That is BTR out in 3rd. As now we only have 2 teams, but Valdez is down to 2. Na'Vi, do full send it. You have to go for the push, Imperium, indeed. Gui, he's going to be overwhelmed, having a little bit of a hard time. Gui, you got to try and play the old player of Power 888 now joining Valdez and doing strides for the team. But they have no idea. Where's he positioned? The smoke's making it really hard to really pin him down. He peeked around the side and he couldn't do much.